All right, I need to get some water. So, what is going on, guys? It's Eric here. We're back at it again. Another good week of good trading, hopefully. All right. So today, pretty light day. We're gonna recap the only trade I took, and I only took it during pre-market because there was nothing else really going on in the market today. It was with MBOT or MBOT. Um, Pretty good trade. So what I wanted to do in this video here is kind of walk you guys through on, some kind of noticeable things to kind of tell with this trade, because I get a lot of questions, about entering the trade, exiting the trade, blah, 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 and good stuff like that. I know I addressed a lot of it in the course like that, but I wanted to just kind of brush over it here for people who, don't have or don't know, just to kind of give you some more insight. Um, so I'm gonna cover that real quick. Today the market was green. Market finished all-time highs today. We're coming on that Christmas rally, which is good. But if you're not familiar with the market cycles and how trading goes, during the last week of the year is usually a really light volume going on in the market. So which means there's not a lot of trading going on. It could be for numerous different things. It could be um, you know, people taking profits at the end of the year, trying to mitigate losses, things like that. But it's just very light volume during the end of the year, which is why we didn't have much runners today. Probably won't have much runners throughout the week, but you know, it's still opportunity there, and it's just a matter of finding that opportunity. And that's what the alerts are there for you guys. You don't need to be scouring the market. You don't need to be trying to find this and that. We're telling you which ones to look at, which ones are moving, which ones will give you the most opportunity. That's the point of it. But from there, your point, you as a trader got to know what your strategy is that you're using and how it's going to be able to affect you with that trade. Okay. So, um, I mean, and people ask me this all the time. Do I need alerts? Blah blah blah. You don't really need them, but it definitely helps. Just like you don't need shoes to walk, but it definitely feels better when you have it on. you know, um, and some people, usually will use like their own scanners and things like that, and try to go for like the highest, volume or highest percentage gainers. And some people do like gap plays and stuff like that, which is fine. I mean, the only problem with that, and I learned this for like the first 2 years when I was trading, was that by the time something hits your scanner for like being the high of the day or something like that, it's already moved. Whereas with the alerts, we're getting in there before all that happens. You're seeing that stuff pretty quickly. So let's just kind of get into the trade here with MBOT. I got in at 795, and this thing went all the way up to like $9, I think, at one point. But let me see if I can pull it up here for us real quick. So pretty much, you know, it's loaded at 4:09 a.m., which was like right here when it was alerted. Boom. So basically, they had announced a strategic collaboration with Stryker Corporation to develop Liberty robotic system for neurovascular applications. Pretty good catalyst right there. So that's one good thing to note. All right. Um, Obviously, before then, you don't really have much levels of, support and resistance. Um, you got some stuff you can kind of go off of, but not too much. So that spike there was like a really, really new high for it. As a matter of fact, while that's going off, you got like a good few minutes or so to kind of look at different, things with it. So this stock here is traded within this range relatively, frequent. So, and of course, it's been on the downtrend. So it's probably was, overdue for some kind of good news, which is good. I mean, it just shot it right back up to where it used to be. Just kind of going off of that, looking at different levels of support and resistance, you already know you're at a huge breakout. So that's one good thing to know when it comes to that. Okay. Now, pretty much what I tell you guys all the time: don't chase every alert, don't run and jump in it right away. Because if you look at it, by the time you got into it right here, it started to peak at its high. At that point, you know you're chasing. So what do? You wait for it to come down. And a lot of the videos, guys, you're gonna see me repeat this stuff over and over because it's that simple. Some of you guys are making the trading a lot harder than it needs to be. Other people who don't know this stuff, unfortunately, just don't know it because they're, I don't know, don't want to learn. They just want to chase stocks that are already running. But hey, to each his own. I'm gonna play it safe, get my money. And as you can see here, the stock, like I said, I got in at 795. Even at this alert here, it wasn't, you know, it didn't even touched as high as it could have went. The reason why I waited until then is because I was watching price action, the level two during pre-market, and orders were coming in and some were coming out. Basically, what was happening is that they were getting rid of, orders that were placed to fill, stop losses, profit takes. Basically, usually that's a lot of time what happened with spikes. They're filling in those orders there. So that's when you get those little, those true washouts to see what support and resistance is there. So you got that spike up, and you got that spike down. All right, which is good. So I'm liking this. That's noticeable. Again, there was nothing else moving in pre-market. Not a lot of volume, so it was easy to kind of just pay attention to this stock. Now, even though it's hitting the technicals and it's pulling back into bearish territory at this point, that's fine. I'm expecting that anyways. Why? Because it has to come back down and get rid of those sell orders. What interests me most is when it needs to turn over again here on the moving average, and it begins to cross over with the volume weighted average price and the exponential moving average, the EMA and value add. Once they cross up into into bullish territory, then it's going to catch my eye. So at this point, stock has gone up. I'm saying, okay, I got a good level of support right here. I'm going to have my stop loss be at $7. I'm entering at, 7.95. So it's a good risk to reward ratio for me there. Through 500 shares in there. Now, of course, it's going to come back down. So I'm expecting that. I'm expecting some variance, but I'm hoping it does not drop either past the VWAP or past that $7 mark that I have, and it never did. So that gave me confidence to stay in this trade for a very long time. Now, keep in mind too, you got to remember that the time frame that you're trading, and this is very important for you guys because you got to understand there's not a lot of liquidity going on, but you're in this trade. If you're trading with Webull or any broker that allows you to trade, pre-market, you got to remember the timing that you're in the stock. So here we are. We're in the stock. I'm watching it pull back. I'm liking this because it's not showing any signs of weakness to me. Look at these candles here, guys. Yeah, there's not much price action going on in the range of the candles. However, these wicks here are showing me that all these, sell orders are getting bought out, which is good. Now I know it's time for it to come right back up. And what happens? One thing that did catch my eye, and if you guys probably noticed here, right here as well too, I talk about a lot in the course. Most people would have got stopped out right here, 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 and here. If you look at these candles, go study your candlesticks. The book is in the Facebook group for you to learn your candlesticks. These candlesticks were good signs. However, before they ended up closing the way they did, they were flashing red. These were big red. This one right here especially was a big red drop. Right here. This one was a big red drop. Now, an experienced person would have tried to sell their shares here before it got too bad, assuming that it's going to be bad because you got a high volume bar and you got this thing closing on the red. You're thinking, oh, now it's about to come back down. However, if you know this candlestick, that means the price closed up at this point. And then this one's giving me a good confirmation that it's going to continue. So is this one. So is this one. Basically, what this is showing me right here is that buyers are fighting to keep this price at this level. Again, I'm in at 795. I'm confident to let this thing play out because I'm already up pretty good, 20 cents or so. That's fine. The price is going to fluctuate. But anyways, so now that I got that confidence there, this is why I say studying your candlesticks are very important. You combine that with where you're at in your isolators, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Don't panic sell. Don't try to, quickly grab your profits and take your stuff and go. My goal here was to kind of get out at 895 and, but it just gave me, more room to run, which was fine. I'll gladly take that. I won't not want to take more money, but hey, sometimes it happens. My goal was to let this thing run to 895, but I ended up taking it out at like 948 or 950 or something like that, which was a good profit. But anyways, we got good strength here. Good strength here. Another red flashing candle. This thing was crazy. This one, I'm not gonna lie, did kind of scare me here. However, checking out the moving averages and looking at the price action, I was like, okay, well, I still got time to let this play out. And at this point, I'm at 885, which is already near my goal. So that's no problem there. So I'm willing to let it run a little bit longer and see where it establishes some support. and eventually it did, and I took my profits right about here. So it wasn't, the pure top. I think the top was like right up here. I think this thing went to like 964. But I got it at 940, which is pretty good. You guys know I don't want to hold during the opening bell because typically I'm expecting a washout, especially when it's a low liquidity market where there's not a lot of volume. You're gonna want to go ahead and get out because bears are coming in, shorts coming in, people who brokers don't open till market open coming in, and they're going to want to try to cash out. So you've got to remember the people, the traders that you're going against in the market, which is very important, and I cover that in detail again later on. But you just got to keep that in mind. So, anyways, I get out right there, which is perfect timing. Moving averages come down, it still holds some more support. A greedy person would probably want to enter in at this point, try to get in, get up a little bit, and get out. Now, this is where you know, let's say if you didn't get into this stock, even though you were alerted several times, hey, MBOT's climbing, it's climbing, it's climbing, MBOT new pre-market high. We repeated it again. Here's the catalyst. Another high, another high. Now let's see at this point you're catching FOMO, right? Which a lot of you traders, especially new traders, are needing to fight. Excuse me. Let me get some water before I break this down for you guys because you're gonna need to listen to this. In addition to knowing your candlesticks, you should know your price charts, your charting patterns, I'm sorry, which, accompanied with knowing price action and looking at level two can help. But the chart alone will tell you whether you need to be staying in the trade or getting out of the trade. So let's say by the time you're looking at this chart, it keeps running, keeps running. You see this thing has already climbed up here with the little ABCD pattern. You know to wait for your pullback here, right? To see what kind of pattern is being formed. Right here you have your little cup and handle. What did I tell you guys to look for? See, there's a breakout. There was no breakout here. This was barely a breakout. And this indication right here probably lasts so quick you didn't even notice it. But anyways, you got a cup and handle that failed right here. So that obviously would tell you that even if you got in here, or even if you got in here and waiting for a pullback, if you got in here and you see there's no breakout, and your isolators are telling you that the strength is dying out, go ahead and get out of the trade. There's no point in staying in there. There's no point in trying to be greedy. Even if you bought right here, cut your loss, move on. Because I guarantee you will not only save yourself money, headache, and emotion, but you'll be more profitable if you go ahead and take your loss and move on. Because obviously, if you're waiting for a breakout and you're playing, let's say if you're playing a trade right at this point at the cup and handle where you're waiting for that breakout and you want to jump in before it happens, and it doesn't happen, if you cut your loss here, here, whatever, it's much better than you cutting your losses way down here, holding on your hope for it to come back. You're better off cutting your loss here, waiting for the next trade to do pretty much the same thing. I guarantee you cut this loss maybe 4, 5, or 6 times, which is probably a good 5, 10, 15, 20 cents, 30 cents to move. Whatever your risk management is towards that move, you cut that 6, 7 different times, but then you nail that one trade that follows your plan and hits your profit, you're going to come out green. I mean, that's just the way it is, guys. So this is what people mean by, traders mean by cutting your losses quickly. When a trade is not going your way at the point that you anticipate to go your way, go ahead and cut your loss and move on. Do not try to stay and hold on and hope. Perfect example of a cup and handle breaking out. So if you kind of look at this too here, after the bell opened up, this thing traded flat for so long. I don't know how many of you were watching it. A lot of us in the chat room were watching it. But when it did, trade it at the open, if this thing's not going up or going down, and this, you got some isolation, the isolators are moving right here. At this point, guys, go ahead. Honestly, if you're a bullish trader, you might as well go ahead and take your loss. Yeah, it might, or just get out, break even. Yeah, it might, spike up here, but the odds are a lot of times when that happens, you get thin movement like this from the opening bell. If the stock isn't immediately going one way down or one way up, or giving you a pattern of down or up, just go ahead and get out because there's no telling what's going to happen. And if the chances there at that point are 50-50, do what you want, take your risk. You can. Me personally, I don't want to take a 50-50 chance. I'd rather have the odds in my favor. So if the stock isn't trending up or trending down at the way that I want it to move, at the point that the bell's open and it's already done its movement that it's supposed to do and nothing's happened, I'm getting out of that stock and moving on to something else or waiting for it to do something that's going to catch my eye. And at this point, if I wasn't this trade, I'd be glad I got out because, of course, look at this. For me, more than likely, especially with these small cap stocks, too many people want to short them, and they're going to end up being bearish. You know, unless you get some kind of a short squeeze, which in a market like this, keep in mind the volumes, liquidity, and things that's happening. You're not going to get that much. You got some false breakouts here. This thing, it was a lot of stocks that was doing false breakouts with the light amount of volume we had in the market today. Excuse me. We talked about that in the chat room too. So you got to keep your head on the swivel. Keep your stop losses tight. If you're not seeing a lot of movement, breakouts, and this slow gainers, if you're a momentum trader, you just know that this is your day to sit on the sideline, or you need to switch to a trend trading strategy, and trade one of the trend strategies that I go over with you in the course. But this is a prime example of have an opportunity in the market, capitalizing on it, and basically keeping your stop losses tight. This is what you need to do in your responsibility as a trader. Don't chase FOMO. At this point, a lot of people probably brought in right here and then got burnt out. You know, um, and some of you might be afraid, oh, I'm going to lose my, for those who are under the PDT rule, afraid that you're going to lose your PDT. If PDT is something that's bothering you as a trader, go ahead and, get a broker that's going to allow you to not have to do it. And I don't mean just having Webull as cash accounts. I go over the offshore brokers that you can use as well too in the course. Use one of them. Um, that helps you grow your account a lot quickly. I'm thinking about doing a little small account challenge with that to kind of show you guys as well too. I don't know. I'll decide later on this year. We got a lot of stuff coming up this year for 2022. So I'm excited for those of you guys that are, a couple hundred guys that are following me or that are, in the group, stuff like that. We got a lot of stuff coming up for you guys. So, stay tuned. But anyways, that's a MBOT trade. For me, a pretty good trade today. My only trade today. But again, I'm very meticulous with the ones I pick. You guys know what criteria I look for. So I can't complain. It's about what I made about $750 off this trade. Not bad for a Monday, come off the holiday break. I wouldn't mind for it to be another, little bit of a rally for the rest of a few days, but there's no telling. I'm expecting the volume to be kind of low until New Year's hit and we see what's happening with everything. Um, so that's it, guys. I mean, just hopefully this worked out for you. And if you want to go back and look at this trade in real time on your own, of course, you got get trading view, pull it up, hit play. You can back test it, kind of see the things that I was seeing, um, as the chart's playing out, looking at the price action, looking at the chart at the same time, so you can see what's going on, how things might play towards your strategy. At this point, the alert goes off, you're looking at it, it's moving, it's moving. Obviously, it didn't move this fast. It was a little bit slower during pre-market, but then oh, it's hitting new highs, hitting new highs. You know where it's at in the trading, in the market. It's hitting new highs. Maybe let's jump in here. Maybe let's jump in here. But make sure you're setting your risk to management, your risk to reward management there where you need it to have set. Okay. Um, but yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions about this trade, let me know. If there's any stock you ever want me to kind of review that you might have traded throughout the day, just message me or post it in the Facebook group. We'll go over it. We'll talk about it. I'll give you some insight on it and my thoughts. Pretty soon we'll start discussing some long-term stocks, which would be pretty cool for a lot of you guys who wanted to talk about investing a little bit more. I'll kind of go over my little long-term portfolio that I have for you guys. It does pretty well. I mean, I'm averaging, 35% returns on my portfolios throughout the year that are long-term, but I like dividend playing stocks anyway as well too. So if I'm gonna hold a stock for a long time, I might as well get paid to do it. But anyways, let me know what you guys are looking at. If you have any questions, like I said, just message me, post them in the comments below. We'll get back at it tomorrow. Hopefully, we're having a good day. I will be in Dallas Wednesday or Thursday, so I may not be going live then for you guys that are in the chat room and group. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'll try to. Um, we'll see what's going on. But anyways, I'll be in Dallas, traveling and trading. and be back here probably next week sometime. So until then, you guys, still you can reach me, message me, email me, whatever you want, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right. Till then, stay green.